Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Mr. Yudi, as a lecturer in the thesis proposal in ELT, and good morning to my friends. My name is Shelley Salsabila Nanda Puspita. I am the student of Department of English, Universitas Negeri Malang. This is occasion I would like to present my thesis proposal under the title Student Perception Toward Padlet as a Learning Tool in Writing Skill. Here is my outline. In chapter 1 is introduction. In chapter 2 is research method. And the last is references.
Chapter 1 is introduction.
The first is background of the study. The main study of English is very important because it is a universal language that is often used in the world. To understand the flow of information and to get higher opportunities in the future, people need to learn English. There are 4 skills that need to be learned in English, and these skills are listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Of these 4 skills, writing is one of the 4 skills that hold the biggest aspect in learning English. However, the students' writing skill is still low because they need to understand grammar, structures, lexical content, and meaning. This problem also occurs in Indonesia, which attaches to the writing skill of students. In order to make the writing successful in the classroom, teachers could use learning tools like using digital technology in the learning process. There is media in the form of an application that is of interest to researchers called Padlet. Padlet is a free online tool that is best described as online notice board. The Padlet application has also been used in a venue for art appreciation, online discussion board, reflection, and enable students to collaborate safely with an online community. There are 2 research problems that I'm going to analyze in this study. The first one is, what do the students think of the effect of using Padlet application as a learning tool on their writing skill? And the second one is, what do the students think about the implementation of Padlet application in the teaching of writing? Next is about significance of the study. So there are 2 significance of the study. The first one is theoretical significance, and the second one is practical significance. The first, theoretically, the result of this study will contribute to providing more evidence concerning the use of Padlet application as a learning tool in writing skills. This research can give more understanding about the teaching learning process by using the media Padlet application, how the students' perception related to the theories. And then the second one, practically for English teachers, the study research will be helpful for the teacher to use the Padlet application as an alternative and digital learning tool in the teaching learning process in the writing classroom. While for students, it can enable them to be more comfortable in expressing their ideas in writing form and enhance their engagement in writing class when using the Padlet application. Finally, the result of this study can be used as a reference by further researchers. Next is definition of key terms. The first is learning tool is digital technology in the form of application designed by teachers for students as a platform to cultivate learning skills and behaviors. And then Padlet is an application as a learning tool to have the teaching and learning process of writing skills to be more collaborative in writing skill. And while perception is an opinion based on a selective process of seeing, organizing, and interpreting what a person experiences. Lastly, writing skills is the abilities related to expressing ideas through the writing work.
Then chapter 2 is research method.
The next is research design. The research design that is going to be used in this study is qualitative with descriptive approach. The qualitative design is a case study that focuses on one or more cases over time through detailed and in-depth data collection involving various sources of information. This method contains a qualitative purpose to discover the student's perception on the use of Padlet in their writing classroom. Next is setting and subjects of the study. The first one is subjects. The subjects of the study are 30 students from 3 classes. Each class will take 10 students. The class has chosen 10 students from class 10-1, 10 students from 11-1, and 10 students from class 12-1, students of SMAN 1 Senat in the academic year of 2022 or 2023. While this study will be conducted in SMA N1 Senat, which is located on Jalan Raya Bagelenan, Desa Bagelenan, Kecamatan Senat, Kabupaten Blitar, Jawa Timur. This study will be conducted from July 18, 2023 and 22 to August 20 and 2022. Next is data collection. The first instrument that will be used to collect data in this study is the questionnaire. The questionnaire is about students' thought upon the effect that students get when using Padlet as a learning tool in writing. For this study, data will be collected using an online questionnaire. The researcher will use a closed-ended questionnaire in the form of a scale of Google Form. There are 10 statements in the questionnaire. The statements in the questionnaire are divided into two parts, writing skill and Padlet application. Then the questionnaire was analyzed using a Likert scale. There are 4 options to answer the questionnaire: strongly agree, disagree, and strongly disagree. Well, the second instrument is interview to collect the data. The researcher will use interview questions as the primary data collection to get in-depth information from the participants and strengthen the result from the questionnaire. The interview will be conducted online interview by Zoom application. Then the interview data is maintained by recorded the discussion between the researcher and the participants by Zoom. The researcher will write the result in the note of the interview to strengthen the result of the questionnaire. Finally, the collected data will be carried out around 1 until 2 months. After collecting the data from the questionnaire and interviews, the data will analyze to decide which data should be discussed in the findings. From the questionnaire, the data will be analyzed by using tabulating the data. Tabulating the data is a process that inserts the data into a table that accordance with the analysis. The data collected by enter into a table and summarized in the form of percentages and descriptions. Then the data will be analyzed based on the result of the questionnaire given and also will be presented descriptively. The researcher chose the highest percentages to the lowest one based on the Likert scale. Finally, the researcher is applying the questionnaire responses to conclude the result of the questionnaire based on the questionnaire indicators. As for the interview, the researcher analyzed the data in several steps as proposed by Miles and Huberman in 1994. The steps include data reduction, data display, data verification, and conclusion. First, in data reduction, the data will collected by the researcher in the early stage will be reduced. It means that the researcher will analyze the data through reduction by summarizing, selecting the most important data, and removing unnecessary data that has been collected. The second step is data display. It means that research data that has been reduced from the previous text is arranged in a sequence that contains information that needs to be displayed in the form of table or narrative. Finally, after displaying the data, the researcher can conclude and verify. Here, validity includes a much broader concern to whether conclusions drawn from data are credible and then feasible. To conclude the research, the researcher will answer research questions based on the data that has been analyzed in this study. Therefore, the researcher will use this technique to compare the result of the questionnaire and interview to ensure that the findings in this study are valid. So here is the references from my thesis proposal, everyone. That's all of my presentation from my thesis proposal, everyone. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.